Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, today we're on the home screen of Bloxburg, and that's because in this video I'm going to be touring all of my plots. So as you can see, I have quite a few plots. Some of them are empty, but most of them have something on them. So I did a video like this a while ago, and I thought it would be fun to update you guys on some of the new plots I have. So let's just get straight into this. Okay, so to begin with, we're starting with the Pro Mansion, which is my most expensive build actually, and it's $3.1 million. So this is probably one of my favorite builds as well. It's definitely up there, and so it's kind of exciting. I get to show you guys this one first. Now I'm not going to do a whole tour because I have already done a house tour video, but I will briefly show you it. So if we fly around here, over here I have sort of my garage area with lots of my cars, and these probably are adding to the value most. Like, these cars combined are probably worth almost $1 million. Then if we zoom out, as you can see, the house is actually massive, and I'm really kind of proud of how it looks. It looks a tiny bit square, but I still do love the shape. Anyway, out the back we have the garden area, so we have some tennis courts and stuff. We have the pool and like a bar. And then if we just quickly fly inside, you can get like the gist of what kind of vibe the house is. It's a very traditional house, so we have like the kitchen stuff over here. And this house is so big, you guys, it even has its own library in it. And then upstairs we just have some bedrooms and stuff. And honestly, this build took me months. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This literally took me months. How I would do it is I would go to work, then I would build. I'd go to work, then build. So I'd probably work for like 100 or 200k, and then I'd do a bit more of the house. And honestly, that's a pretty good way to complete a house quickly, is just to keep working. And then probably my favorite part of the house is all the greenery outside the front. But yeah, that is the first plot. Okay, so the next plot is called Massive Mansion, but it's only worth 65,000, and I don't actually know what this is. Oh my gosh, it's this. Okay, you guys, so this might seem random, but if any of you have watched the show called Coven, this is basically the house from it. I'll put a picture on screen now of what it looks like. And as you can see, it kind of looks a bit like it. The reason I gave up is because I was trying to do these windows for so long and I just couldn't get them right. But honestly, if I finish this, it would probably end up looking a lot like it. And if you're wondering what's inside, it's literally just a massive empty space in there. But yeah, like I said, this is only worth 65,000, but look at this talent here, guys. Come on, custom fences and custom windows. I mean, they are actually pretty good. The thing is, though, I couldn't like copy and paste them. But yeah, maybe one day I'll finish this build and do a tour of it. Okay, so next is Classy Cafe, and I do know what this plot is. So this used to be like a really fancy restaurant where the prices were like ridiculously high. It was like $10,000 for a lobster. It was more for like a joke and a test. I never actually took anyone's money, don't worry. But now I've converted it into sort of like a random plot, but let me explain. So this here is just if I ever want to cook a lot of the new food that comes out. Over here is if I ever go onto my neighborhood and I don't want a massive plot like lagging me out, I can just spawn this one which just has a car on it. And then over here is how I take my thumbnails. So I'll stand in front of this and I will just take a screenshot. And the value of this is 73,000. Alright, so fourth place is the station. Now, I'm guessing you all know what this is. This is the classic mood stations. So there's one over at the front, which to be honest, I never ever use. And then there's one all the way over here at the back, which is the one I use when I work. And mood stations basically are just a way to get up your moods before you work. So this plot's really simple, and the value is 31,000. Okay, so next up is closet. And as you can see from the outside, you might be wondering, how is this 400k? Well, I'll talk you through it. First of all, we have another green or blue screen technically here. Over here you'll see some flooring, and that's because there used to be a massive staircase here. And there used to be a massive bedroom over there, but I deleted it because I ran out of money. But as you can see, this plot is still worth 400,000. And you might be thinking, how is this big block worth 400,000? Well, but if we go and fly inside, a lot of you guys might recognize it. So I have done a tour of this a few months ago. But also, I do film quite a lot of my videos in here. So here's a quick overview of it. Basically, there's like a spa room in the closet, which is crazy. There's a bathroom in here, which I never actually finished. There's like a staircase. Then if we fly up here, we have the main area. And then down here is sort of like the dressing room area. So you have a dressing table, you have a spiral staircase, a sofa, and then back here is the entryway, which is actually inspired by Scream Queen's closet. A lot of you guys noticed that. And then outside the front is literally nothing, it's just a corridor. But this again is one of my favorite plots because it's so good for like a background if ever I'm filming. But also it's just such a cool plot to have. I don't think I'd ever delete this. Okay, you guys, so next is stocking up. Now, oh my gosh, this is actually good because they just took the New Year's update out, so I can actually delete this stuff. and I'm really glad I kept this. I feel like they should have kept these in the game anyway, because you can change the picture, but they didn't. So I stocked up on these and then some of the balloons. I didn't stock up on fireworks because I feel like they add them all the time. And there we go. Okay, we just added all of that to our inventory. So now the plot value, it was 8,000, but it's going to go down to 0. And that was, yeah, this is my plot where I stock things up. Although I never do like the mass stock ups like some other people do. Like, you know, some people spend like 600,000 buying 100 of everything. I just never really do that. I just wait till the update comes back. Okay, so the last one before we have a little gap of $0 is building stuff, and this is worth 30,000. Oh my gosh, this is a video I did pretty recently. Normally I delete my build challenges, you know, because I need the money, but I guess I didn't delete this one. So if you saw the video, you'd know this was a big fail. Basically, I tried to build a 3x3 house and a 1x1 house, and it kind of worked, but really it didn't work. And the value of this plot, like I said, is 30,000, which is pretty good for 2 houses, if we're being technical. Okay, so after that, as you can see, we have a lot of $0. Now, these were just old plots. Like, this was a massive mansion, this Spanish house. The hotel was a really expensive hotel, and I used to have a court, actually. But I obviously deleted them for some reason. But next we have old money, which is $1.8 million, guys. Okay, so this plot is my second most expensive plot at $1.8 million. But I also want to show you guys the plot data value, which is 47.8%, which doesn't seem high, but that's even higher than, you know, my massive mansion I showed you at the start. I think that's only at like 40%. And this plot you might all recognize, and it is the school. So I've done a few videos here. I've done a tour of it and I've done some role plays, but I might as well fly around and show you the main things. So in here we have dorms, which are basically just little apartments, and then upstairs we obviously have the beds and stuff, and there's 4 of these that go along this wall. Then if we actually zoom up to the top, you'll see this school is really massive. Like, this takes up the whole plot. Anyway, over on this side we just have a whole bunch of classrooms. So here's like a science class. In here we have a maths class, then cooking, and here's the assembly hall, which is obviously one of the main rooms. Then we have like the outdoor bit where you can do sports and stuff, and then we have the seating area over here. Then inside we basically have an indoor gym and all that sort of stuff. And then upstairs is literally the exact same with just a bunch more classrooms, and it all links together in the reception. And as you can see, we have some school rules. No bathroom breaks in class, guys. People always break that rule. Oh, and actually, if we fly underground, oh, that's a bit too low. If we go in here, we actually have bits of underground in the school. So we have like a bathroom, we have isolation, and then we actually have prom in here as well, which is really, really cool. And that is the school. I don't actually know how it's worth 1.8 million. I guess just all the windows and like tables and stuff. But this isn't actually one of my favorite builds. Like, I like it, but I feel like it's so outdated now. I built it over a year ago. But I don't think I'd renovate it because I don't use it enough to spend loads of money and time making it look even better. Alright, so next up we have a plot called High, which I have no idea what's on here. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's just like a default house, but it's just like a... What? This is so weird. It's just like a completely empty default house. Do you know what I think this is actually, guys? I think when I made my video on renovating the starter house, I needed to get a video of like the empty rooms, and I think that's what this is. I was just so confused then. Imagine when you bought the starter house, it just looked like this, and you had to buy all your own furniture. You don't actually realise it's quite spacious in here, isn't it? With nothing in it. But anyway, that is the plot called High, which was our second to last plot. So now it's time to go and look at our final plot, you guys. Before we do that, I just want to appreciate that I actually have over 22 plots technically. So obviously I only have stuff on about 10 or 11, but I do actually have so many plots, and I don't know why I keep buying more rather than just putting stuff on the ones we already have. But one day I'll fill all of these up, guys, and then we can do another touring plots video. But this is the last house. It is worth 93,000. And this might be familiar to a lot of you guys, and that is, maybe not from the outside because the outside looks horrendous, but if we go inside, this is actually one of my most favourite builds, and that is the renovated starter house. Now, you might have seen the video of me doing this. It took me about an hour to renovate it, but this is honestly some of the best building I've ever done. Now, I'm not saying this building is insane at all, but for me, this is really good. I cannot build well at all, and I don't think this looks too bad at all, but this is honestly the plot I think I've built best on. I'm really proud of this house. And I'm thinking in the future I'm going to renovate some more of the starter houses, maybe even the Bloxy mansion, but I feel like that would take actual years. But there we go, you guys, that was all of my plots in Bloxburg. If you're wondering, they all add up to about $6 million, which is insane. So technically my Bloxburg net worth is $6 million, which isn't too shabby. So I hope you liked seeing all my plots, and I will catch you all later.